Aki Hayakawa from Chainsaw Man is one of my favorite characters in all of manga. From his stoicness, combat abilities, and the relationship dynamics he has with other characters in the series, Aki being highly regarded in the Chainsaw Man community shouldn't be a surprise. However, what makes Aki stand out as a character for me is not the cool factor that he has, but what he brings to the story of Chainsaw Man. And when you look at his character past surface level, you see that Aki is not your typical stoic, edgy archetype that is popular in the anime and manga community. From his traumatic past, goal for revenge, and difficult situations as well as dilemmas that he is put through throughout the story, Aki's character has more than meets the eye. And despite Denji being the main protagonist of Chainsaw Man, Aki manages to fill the shoes that Denji doesn't, and that is playing the role as the tragic hero of Chainsaw Man. As I may gloss over a few characters as well as plot points of Chainsaw Man in this video, I'm going to analyze and immediately focus on Aki's character progression, and together we'll take a closer look at Chainsaw Man's tragic hero, Aki Hayakawa. Aki is introduced in chapter 3 by Makima and is 3 years above Denji as a senior in the public safety Devil Hunter organization. Early on in the series, we learn that Aki has an extreme sense of conviction in his interaction with Denji as he tries to beat Denji out of the organization for not taking the job seriously. He also tells Denji that everyone who joined to be a Devil Hunter for a shallow reason ends up dead. When Aki and Denji encounter the first fiend in the series, after Denji kills it with his axe, Aki's character is showcased as he asks Denji why didn't he use his Chainsaw Devil's ability to kill it, in which Denji responds with him wanting to give the fiend a painless death as he could have ended up as him. Aki slams Denji on the wall, saying that devil hunters shouldn't be sympathizing with devils of any kind. This is where we get an absolute bombshell as he says that his entire family was killed by a devil right before his very eyes and that he wants to make them suffer as much as he can. He asks Denji if he wants to be friends with a devil sarcastically, and Denji responds that he wouldn't mind as he doesn't have any friends, in which Aki responds by saying that he will remember those words before storming off. This is where we see the contrast of both Denji and Aki as he despises devils to his core, to the point that he wants to make them suffer. Aki has a conversation with Makima, talking down on Denji, saying that he's useless, that only people with strong conviction are able to serve the public safety organization, and that he wants to live the easy life, so he isn't fit for public safety. After a tired Denji battles the Leech Devil, we get a first look into Aki's ability, the Fox Devil. Aki is able to form a contract with the Fox Devil for a price, as well as the ability to summon him by telling Kon to a specific location to attack the target before disappearing in smoke. Aki in the hospital with Denji reveals that he's in a contract with the Fox Devil, and that it's known for a devil hunter to form contracts with other devils to use their abilities in battle. For him to use its abilities, he needs to feed parts of his body like some of his skin. In the aftermath of the Bad Devil arc, Aki tells Denji that he is aware that both him and Power left their patrol area and that Power betrayed him as Denji's blood was found in the building the Bad Devil was hiding at. Aki makes sure to emphasize that he is still sympathizing with devils. Aki threatens Denji, saying that if he reports what he knows to the higher ups, both him and Power will end up being put down. However, Aki says that he's willing to compromise as long as Denji does what he says, in which Denji reluctantly agrees. Denji starts living with Aki in the apartment in chapter 4, and Power also joins in chapter 11. The moments in the house with both Denji and Power is when Aki forms a family bond with them. Despite his annoyance with both Denji and Power shenanigans, Aki slowly but surely starts to care about them and act as their symbolic father, so he's the one that tries to put them under his control before they run amok. These down moments are where we see the three of them connect for a heavier impact to us as to what happens in the end. Chapter 13 is the most important chapter of Aki's character, as Makima introduces not only to Denji but to us the readers, one of the most dangerous and powerful devils in Chainsaw Man, the Gun Devil. Makima wants Denji to kill the Gun Devil for him to get one wish that he wants from Makima, but as she explains to Denji, we see a family of 2 boys. One of the kids' names is Taiyo. He is in bed while the parents read him the story about the town mouse and the country mouse. We see his brother asking him to play catch outside, but their dad tells him that Taiyo is sick. Taiyo speaks out and says that he wants to play with his big brother. The parents accept and tell him to immediately go inside if he suddenly doesn't feel well. After a short walk, they start throwing snowballs at each other. Taiyo complains that his hands are cold as he left his gloves in the house. His brother tells him to go inside to get his gloves if he doesn't want to catch a cold. As Taiyo opens the door, we see the house get absolutely demolished. It felt like less than a second. On November 18th, at 10 AM, the Gun Devil struck Japan for 26 seconds. The death toll, 57,912. After striking the rest of the world and leaving 1.2 million casualties in a short time, the Gun Devil disappeared and hasn't been seen since. The only way to find the Gun Devil is to collect pieces of its flesh for it to regenerate. We then switch from Makima to Aki as he finds a piece of the gun devil's flesh from our devil. As Aki stares into the distance, we see him side by side to his younger self as confirmation that he was the older brother of Taiyo. His family was murdered in brutal fashion, and the devil responsible for it is the gun devil, Aki's target of revenge. Back in the Bat Devil arc, as Aki saves Denji from the Leech Devil, we get introduced to new characters like Kobani and Arai, but the most important character in the fold to Aki is Himeno. We get more familiar with Himeno and the rest of the characters and their mission to retrieve a nearby piece of the gun devil from a devil who digested it in a hotel. In this section of the story, we find out that Himeno has a contract with the ghost devil, which allows her to use the devil's right arm in exchange for her right eye. As everyone is walking around the hotel, we get a conversation with Aki and Himeno. Himeno asks Aki if he thinks the 4 newbies will survive. Aki dodges the question by saying that the hunters, both strong or weak, either end up dead or move to the civilian sector. Himeno calls him out for dodging the question, but also says to not die, as we get a flashback. A young Aki walked towards Himeno and a graveyard was in front of someone's grave. He introduces himself to Himeno as he is going to work with her moving forward. Himeno then asks Aki if he is useful and tells him that he is the 6th person she is working with, as everyone else died because they were useless nobodies. The flashback ends with Himeno saying to not die, as we go back to the present with a somber look on Aki's face. A short while later, Himeno tells Denji that she was the one who introduced him to smoking, as we get another flashback. In a balcony, Himeno asks Aki if he smokes, to which he immediately says no. Himeno then says since they are going to work together closely, he should do it as well. He responds that he isn't here to make friends. Himeno tells him that she is aware that he joined to kill the gun devil. She asks that since devil hunters don't live long, smoking won't be the thing that kills him. Aki says that he won't bite so easily. Himeno tells him that he better not, as it is a hassle for her when her buddies die on her. After a short while, we see them walking around together in the city. A woman approaches them and Himeno looks at her and then tells Aki to get scarce. As he does, he sees the woman slap Himeno in the face. Aki goes to her and asks what was that about, and Himeno says that she was her previous buddy's girlfriend. She proceeds to say that since they don't have the power to get revenge on devils, they take it out on them instead and consider it a part of the job. A bit later, Aki comes to Himeno and says that he stuck gum on her as retaliation. Himeno hears this and laughs her ass off. In a restaurant, Himeno tells Aki that he reminded her of what her master always said to her. The devil hunter that devils fear the most aren't the strong or the brave. They are afraid of the ones with a few screws loose. Himeno tells Aki that he will manage to live for a long while. Aki asks her if that was an insult, and the flashback ends with Himeno giving Aki his first cigarette as the start of their long relationship. Aki says he will only smoke just this once and transitions back to the present, with Aki asking for another cigarette as Himeno gives him her cigarette and calls him an addict. The devil that has the piece of the gun devil's flesh is revealed to be the Eternity Devil, and his ability gets the squad stuck in the 8th floor without any means of escape. The Eternity Devil says that he is willing to form a contract and the conditions are to feed him Denji and he will let the rest outside. Despite his feelings towards Denji, Aki surprisingly is the first one to come to Denji's defense and goes against Arai in a panicked Kobani. Arai tries to convince Aki as this might be their only means of escaping since a contract must be followed from both parties and if you don't you die, but Aki reasons that Denji's death might be beneficial to the devils in some way so he won't do it and Himeno sides with Aki. He also says that fiends and devils can make contracts with each other so the Eternity Devil wouldn't feel obligated to let them escape. He finalizes that they are devil hunters and they only kill devils. When things get dire, Aki says that him using the sword might be their only way, in which Himeno refuses and says that him using it will shorten his lifespan by a lot. After the Eternity Devil grows from their fear, Kobani attempts to stab down Denji, but Aki covers Denji and ends up getting stabbed instead. Everyone is shell-shocked by this, but Aki says, yes, he's disgusting scum. I wouldn't blame you for stabbing, but he's out to kill the gun devil. I can't kill the gun devil alone. To kill that thing, I need as many devil hunters with the guts to confront it as I can get. Even if I have to shorten my lifespan, I won't let you kill Denji. This moment shows that at some level, at this point of the story, he cares about Denji, even if it's for fulfilling revenge. We get a flashback with Himeno and Kishibe in the graveyard, and Kishibe says that Aki is eventually going to meet with the gun devil after collecting the pieces earnestly. Himeno doesn't want this as she looks down. She tries to convince Aki to join the civilian sector with her and says that they won't have to fight the gun devil or any devil. Aki, however, tells her that he will never go to the civilian sector. Himeno figures that if he fights the gun devil, he will get killed. Not because they aren't strong enough or because the gun devil is capable of killing hundreds of people in an instant, but because Aki is cool, serious, and kind, just like everyone else. However, she says that Denji might be crazy enough to kill the gun devil. This definitely doesn't foreshadow what happens at the very end. After Denji tortures the Eternity Devil for 3 days straight, the Eternity Devil decides to give his core so that he kills him, which lets everyone be able to finally escape the hotel. A day after the newbie welcome party to celebrate completing the mission, we see multiple people shooting at devil hunters all over the city. As Aki, Denji, Power, and Himeno are at a restaurant, they are completely unaware of what's going on. A guy sitting at a table nearby goes to Denji and asks him if he loves his grandpa who Denji killed in chapter 1. He then says that the gun devil wants his heart as he shoots Denji in the head and everyone else. Aki uses Kon and summons the fox devil and swallows the man. The fox devil tells Aki that the man isn't a human or a devil as a sword from the inside slashes the fox from the inside. Katana Man. The battle gets fierce between Aki and Katana Man, and as Aki manages to put down Katana Man using his cursed devil, Himeno is injured from a gunshot wound and needs medical treatment. A girl suddenly appears and heals Katana Man, nullifying the damage that he did, and then gets slashed, putting him out of action. With no other option, Himeno sacrifices herself and makes a contract with the Ghost Devil that lets her use all of its power for the exchange of her being. Aki can cry. Devil hunters get used to the deaths of those close to them that they stop crying. But Aki is quick to cry. Even when newbies he'd been babysitting died, he'd cry in secret. That made him interesting. Having someone care enough to cry for you must make a person happy. As the Ghost Devil fights the Katana Man, Himeno starts losing her limbs one by one. And as this happens, Aki watches her helplessly. Himeno's last words. "Don't you die, Aki. Because when I die, I want you to cry." Katana Man is overwhelmed and asks the girl to help him. The girl's name is Sawatari and she uses the Snake Devil and swallows the Ghost Devil, leaving nothing but Himeno's clothes on the ground. After Makima's devious and downright brutal intervention and Kobedi coming to Denji's rescue from their intense battle, Katana Man and Sawatari leave the scene. Aki wakes up in a hospital as Power and Denji argue like usual. The first thing he does is ask them who else from Division 4 is still alive. Denji says that only 2 survived and Aki grows a blank expression on his face. Denji and Power leave to go to Makima, and as they leave, Aki takes his sword. Curse, how many years do I have left? With Aki hearing this, he takes a cigarette, but as soon as he's about to light it up, he sees Himeno with a lighter. He puts the cigarette down as he starts to cry in what feels like absolute despair. Denji ends up seeing Aki cry and starts to wonder if everyone that he cares about died, would he cry? 2 from Kyoto go to Aki at Makima's request to help Division Squad 4. After his battle with Katana Man, Aki isn't able to use the fox as he got on its bad side and the sword will continue to shorten his lifespan. They ask Aki if he will quit public safety or will he stay and see hell. His response? "The one who killed my family and the one who killed my buddy are both still alive. How could I quit?" They tell him that he might want to take a more objective look at himself as they leave. But before they do, they tell him that a woman is here to see him, which ends up being Himeno's younger sister, who gives him letters from Himeno that she sent her at the time. These letters show how much Himeno cared for Aki and for him to quit public safety. Aki goes with Makima's assistants to a warehouse where devils locked up are stored. He is told that they would like for him to make a contract with the future devil. 2 people already have a contract with it, one giving their lifespan and the other giving their eyes, sense of taste, and smell. And if he likes him, he'll get a deal for cheap. He goes in and tells the future devil directly that he wants to form a contract. The future devil tells him that in order for him to make a contract, he must show it his future by sticking his face in its belly. Aki does it and the future devil starts laughing maniacally. The future devil tells him that the only thing that he needs to do is allow him to live in his right eye as he wants to see his future with his own eyes because he is going to die in the worst way possible. The future devil asks if he wants to know his demise, in which Aki responds that he isn't interested in how he dies or what comes after as long as he is able to kill those he wants to kill. The new and improved Division 4 is ready to strike back at Katana Man. We get introduced to many fiends and devils, but a notable one for Aki's character progression is the Angel Devil, whose power is to reduce someone's lifespan if touched. Aki meets the Angel Devil when he passes a handkerchief to him in their battle against zombies. A bit later, Aki encounters one of the people responsible for Himeno's demise, Sawatari, ready for battle. As Aki tells her to surrender, Sawatari tells the snake to spit it out, and to Aki's dismay, he is forced to fight the Ghost Devil as Sawatari has control over it. Despite that, Aki is still composed in battle because of his new ability that lets him see a sliver into the future thanks to the future devil. It's what I wish I would say as he gets grabbed and choked by the Ghost Devil. As he is trying to stay conscious, we revisit the flashback in the restaurant from Aki's point of view. He calls her a bad mentor for making him, a minor at the time, smoke. She takes the cigarette back and says that she will hold it for him until he is grown up and needs to take the edge off. The flashback ends with Aki on the ground alongside arms of the Ghost Devil, and as he looks up, he sees the hand of the Ghost Devil with something. It opens its hand and it's a cigarette. He looks at it, takes it, flips it over, and sees Easy Revenge written on it. He gets up and slowly walks towards the Ghost Devil, leaving Sawatari in disbelief. He remembered that the Ghost Devil has no eyes, but is able to see fear. Himeno, I'll join you soon. He decapitates the Ghost Devil, putting it to rest as well as Himeno symbolically. Sawatari is about to use the Snake Devil, but is sneaked by Kobani, putting an end to their fight. Aki finds Katana Man tied up as Denji says he is holding a tournament for his defeat. Denji says that they both will kick him in the nuts, and the one who gets the loudest scream from him wins. Aki refuses, saying that Himeno wouldn't want this, but after staring at the cigarette given by the Ghost Devil, he decides to join in, asking what he'll get if he wins. In a completely unorthodox way, Aki and Denji bond in a way that they never had before. The Katana Man arc ends with a requiem for Himeno filled with screams of agony from Katana Man. Makima states in a briefing with the higher-ups that the operation resulted with them finding 1.4 kilos of Gun Devil flesh in the building, and when they combined the 5 kilos in public safety's possession, the collection started to move toward the Gun Devil itself, signifying that they are close into finding the Gun Devil. Denji is in an alleyway with a door at the end of it. He is having a dream that he always has and ends up forgetting. Denji is called by Pochita behind the door. Denji is very enthusiastic to see Pochita and pet him in his dream, so he approaches the door and tells him to come out. Denji, don't open it, no matter what. Denji wakes up as he is surrounded by Power and Aki in the living room, sleeping as well. Aki Hayakawa and the Angel Devil team up together to kill big devils in order to join the expedition to find the Gun Devil's location. Makima was behind the pairing between these two as she wants Aki to manage him and his ability. This is a huge deal to Aki as he doesn't work well with a devil. Makima says that likability shouldn't be a factor and to use him for his own benefit. Makima reveals that Angel Devil is able to turn people into weapons after he ciphers their lifespan, as well as the katana he possessed was turned into one by him. His weapons have unique powers that can be beneficial in combat. Makima implores Aki to get along even if he just pretends. We see Aki put down a devil in an alleyway. After an inspection, the Angel Devil finds a civilian without a bottom half as he's begging to be killed. Aki asks Angel Devil to put them out of their misery using their powers. Angel Devil, however, shoots him down by saying that he's devil first and angel second, as he believes humans should die in pain. This highlights how they at their core see things differently, as Aki can't even pretend to like Angel Devil. Reese hanging out with Denji asks him if he would be the country mouse or the town mouse as the scene switches to Angel Devil, as he says to Aki that Makima brought him to the city and his heart is in the country. He antagonizes Aki by saying that he'll pass on the danger of associating with a city boy like him. As the battle of Denji and Reese, or the Bomb Devil, begins and gets extremely fierce with the inclusion of the Typhoon Devil and Shark Fiend Beam, Aki and the Angel Devil are about to get caught in the crossfire. While Aki is able to grab a street pole, the Angel Devil starts to go airborne, but Aki grabs him by his shirt. Aki implores him to grab something, but he isn't able to. Angel tells him that it's fine and he should let him go, so he has been ready to die for ages. Aki, with a pained look in his face, lets him go and then grabs him by his hand. Angel, in disbelief, asks Aki why he touched his hand and if he wants to die. Aki asks how much did his life decrease, in which the angel responds with 2 months. Aki then says, if you want to die, do it somewhere far away from me. I'm sick and tired of people dying on me right before my eyes, as he hugs the Angel Devil as they brace for impact. After the events of the Bomb Devil arc and the absolutely hellish international assassination arc, Aki decides to take a trip to a graveyard in Hokkaido to mourn his family. He ends up taking Denji and Power with him. They spend time together from the airplane, the cruise ship, and bus. Aki visits his family's grave as Denji and Power continue their daily shenanigans. They end up staying in an inn and eating together. As Denji and Power sleep, Aki stays awake as he stares at the window. Denji asks Aki if he is alright, albeit in his own way. Aki responds that every time he's visited his family's grave, it would be depressing, but with them this time around, he wasn't able to get lost in that. When everyone returns, Aki and Kishibe meet, and after mentioning how Denji and Power's behavior had improved, he asks if Division 4 is able to withdraw from the expedition to eliminate the Gun Devil. Kishibe is surprised by this as he believed that Aki would be the most eager for this operation out of everyone in public safety. Kishibe tries to persuade Aki that they will be fighting the Gun Devil with equal footing, but ultimately tells him that if he pulls out, he won't be getting information of the expedition or if it succeeded. Kishibe asks Aki if he still wants to back out. Aki said that he's willing to accept that. Kishibe affirms that he will inform the higher-ups, but asks Aki why the change of heart. Aki gets flashes of Denji and Power on the ground, lifeless. As he responds, he got cold feet. Kishibe says that he has gotten saner. As Aki gets home, he gets greeted by food made for him by Denji and Power. Aki tries it and immediately barfs. A bit later, Aki tells Denji to take care of Power as he's returning to work, and as he walks away, the home phone starts ringing. The next day, all of them go to headquarters to meet Makima, and she gives Aki the go-ahead to withdraw from the expedition, but Denji and Power will be going. Aki is shocked by this. Makima goes on and says that she wants them to legitimize Division 4 by having them temporarily join Division 7 to carry out the operation. Makima tells him that if he is sitting out, he will need to leave as the information is classified. As both Denji and Power say that they're going to do it, Aki, with a strained look on his face, asks if he can join the operation. Makima says he can and drops the bombshell that the Gun Devil has already been defeated and confined, shocking both Aki and Denji. She explains the Gun Devil has been divided in percentages by multiple countries as well as devils around the world. The dark realization settles in as he figures out that the expedition to kill the Gun Devil is in actuality a war for the possession of the Gun Devil. Power and Denji ask why he is scared, in which Aki responds that the Gun Devil will live forever, being used by one group or another. Aki's eye seems to hurt but quickly realizes that it's a sign as he looks at Power and Denji. That night, Aki asks the future devil to show itself. As it does, Aki asks what was that he showed him, in which it responds to a future soon to come that is unavoidable. Ju and Power will be slaughtered by Denji. He visits the Angel Devil, who ended up armless at the end of the international assassination arc, and gives him a letter of recommendation from him and Kishibe to save him from getting put down as he's now useless to public safety. Angel calls him out as the rumors he had been told were that Aki was public safety's #1 devil hater. Aki tells him that this may be the last time they see each other and gives him a goodbye. Before he leaves, Angel Devil stops him by saying that he wants to help him in any way he can for him to stay alive and that Makima may have the solution. As they walk to the beach where Makima is located, Angel tells him that he could go anywhere and live a normal life as a regular human being, which Aki says that he'll pass as Denji, Power, and Makima are there. Angel asks why he likes Makima, and Aki isn't able to respond as he himself wonders why. As they arrive, Aki asks Makima why she is here since tomorrow is the big day, and she responds that she is waiting as it shouldn't be long for something else. Aki then tells her that his time might be near. He starts to break down, saying that whatever happens, he wants Denji and Power to survive and be happy. My brother's death was my fault. I want the strength to change things this time. He then tells her that he'll make any contract with any devil as he is pleading for help. In that case, would you make a contract with me? If you give me all of you, I'll give you strength. Aki is confused as Angel is shocked. Hayakawa, this is an order. Say you'll make a contract. Aki's eyes slowly turn lifeless as he stares at Makima. I'll make a contract. Angel Devil screams at Makima as she asks if he remembered. Angel Devil tries to attack Makima but is quickly put down by her words. She's surprised that he managed to break free of her power. Makima tells him to give all of him, and he also falls into her manipulation. We then switch to the President of the United States as he is on a phone call saying that the time has come to kill Makima or humanity will reach peace in the worst possible way. The other nations have accepted it, but as the president, he can't surrender without a fight. He tells the Gun Devil that he'll give 1 year of the lifespans of the American people in the exchange of killing Makima, the Control Devil. The Gun Devil rises and begins his attack. A choir and a church get slaughtered, and the city doesn't get spared either. Destruction and casualties pile up as the Gun Devil rushes at Makima in mere seconds. The Gun Devil stops and then immediately fires at Makima. She gets shot but immediately regenerates. Makima's ability activates as she holds multiple people with either devil powers or contracts in chains. A portal opens above the Gun Devil, and as soon as he's about to get attacked, we switch to Denji and Power in the apartment. They think he is home as they hear the doorbell. Denji exhaustedly goes towards the door. Denji, don't open it. Denji goes back and gets the telephone as it's ringing alongside the doorbell. Miss Makima on the other end tells him that the Gun Devil appeared without warning and failed to defeat it. A dead body got taken over and now the Gun Fiend is ringing his doorbell. Denji initially takes this as a joke, but Makima's silence indicates the gravity of the situation. Makima tells Denji to not think about anything as he fights. Denji hangs up the phone and tells Power that a Gun Fiend is at their door as the ringing of the doorbell never stops. She refuses to believe that as she says Aki is the one ringing the doorbell. Power yells out Aki's name and the doorbell stops ringing. The silence is as deafening as the doorbell. Denji tells Power to take Miaoi and leave from the balcony. Power asks why as Denji yells at her, making her follow his orders. Just in case. That's all. There's no way some stupid gun guy would bother to come to greet me, right? Miss Makima's playing a prank. Right, Aki? Denji opens the door and sees Aki taken over by the Gun Devil. Denji is shocked as Makima was right and he taken over Aki calls Denji by name. He responds asking why he knows his name as we transition to a young Aki in the snowfield. He finds Denji, grabs a snowball and declares a snowball fight, and as soon as he throws, we go back as we see Denji go through the window as the apartment is made an absolute wreck. Power finds Denji and he tells her that a Gun Fiend truly was the one knocking. Power can't believe it as she says that Aki's scent was in the entranceway. Aki jumps out and as soon as he's about to reach Power, he gets stopped by Denji fully transformed. We go back to the snowfield and Power is added into the fold as young Aki says that she is on Denji's team. He grabs another snowball and as he throws, we go back once again to Denji and Power get separated from the blast. Aki looks around and sees two people on the ground. Young Aki asks if they want to play as he raises his gun towards them. Denji sees this and as Aki is symbolically about to throw the next snowball, Denji screams at Aki to stop, but his cries fall on deaf ears as he shoots them, not leaving a trace while he smiles. Denji sneaks to attack as we switch to young Aki getting hit with a snowball by Denji. Aki retaliates with a snowball back to Denji as we then see houses destroyed, killing people in the process. Aki sees a civilian run and Denji manages to temporarily save her as he jumps in front of the bullet as he is sent to a building. Denji sees Aki kill the civilian he saved alongside others who were caught in the crossfire. Young Aki continues to throw more snowballs as more people end up shot by him. Denji tries to stop him as other civilians watch the battle. Denji screams at Aki to snap out of it, saying that this would be the last thing he'd ever want to do as we go back to Denji and Aki throwing snowballs at each other. I never had this much fun before. Mom and dad are always fussing over Taiyo. They never pay attention to me. But now my family has finally gotten kinda fun. He throws a snowball at Denji and we see him bleeding out as he lays on the ground similarly as he is on the snow. He asks Denji if he's giving up, but Denji stands up and their battle continues. Denji repeatedly screams for Aki to turn back as he gets shot by Aki. More destruction happens as Aki has a grin on his face. Denji loses his arm and starts to bleed out as civilians find him. One of them has a knife in their hand, and what it looks like as if Denji is about to get attacked, the civilian stabs their hand and feeds Denji their blood, pleading to save them. The civilians proceed to give Denji their blood as they plead that they don't want to die. Denji stands up and sees a civilian asking for help with someone in their arms. Denji looks around as he sees Aki walking towards him. Denji throws a lot of snowballs at Aki, and as soon as he throws, he stops as he sees Denji cry. "How come you're crying? I never seen you cry before." Aki gets laid out on the snow and admits defeat. "I don't like snowball fights anyway, they just make your hands cold." "Huh? Denji?" Aki is no longer able to see Denji, and as he looks around, he finds Taiyo coming out of their house with a ball and gloves. "Oh yeah, I wanted to play catch." Aki gets stabbed by Denji, and as he retransforms, we see a distraught Denji as he lays on his knees. The future devil shows up on a roof. "Aki Hayakawa, you died in the worst way possible for the Chainsaw Boy." After going over the entire journey of Aki Hayakawa's character, to say that he is one of the most important characters in the public safety arc of Chainsaw Man would be a massive understatement. His roots as a character being revenge against the gun devil for the loss of his family in his childhood, his hatred for devils is completely understandable and even justified at the beginning of the series. The change of Aki's character begins as he sees Denji and how even though he tells him the dangers of devils, Denji told him that he will still be friends with them. And even though that was a bit of waffling on Denji's part at that moment, this resonated with Aki. Power also joins, and the three basically become a family, one that has their ups and downs but still has a great bond with one another. He shows his resolve of wanting the gun devil down by protecting Denji in the Eternity Devil arc, as he was willing to work with what he deemed scum to kill the gun devil. Then there's the Angel Devil, where his hatred for devils was put to the test in the Bomb Devil arc, which despite the Angel Devil having the ability to reduce someone's lifespan by physical touch, Aki didn't even hesitate to save Angel, knowing his already low lifespan, just because he was grown tired of seeing people die. And with the shocking revelation that the gun devil was always in a power struggle by multiple countries, Aki's path of vengeance didn't seem like it would go anywhere. This ultimately made Aki make the decision to just give up on the mission altogether, as he would never be able to kill the gun devil. Why should he put his life at risk for something that would forever be unattainable? The answer to that question was given by Makima as she assigns Denji and Power to this mission. Aki, who at the beginning of the series looked at Denji with disdain, and Power as a fiend who shouldn't be trusted, he joined what essentially became a suicide mission for their sake. The future devil from very early on warned Aki that he would die in the worst possible way, and even though before the mission he told him that he and Power would die by the hands of Denji, the outcome was something that no one would see coming. With Makima taking control of an already down emotionally Aki, and the fierce battle with the gun devil right afterwards, his final moments being manipulated by someone he looked up to with Makima, and the gun devil that put him on this very path, couldn't genuinely be more ironic. Himeno's words that Aki wouldn't be able to kill the gun devil because of how nice he is, but Denji could, now hit differently, for the lack of a better word. Aki's demise is, in my humble opinion, the best moment in the entirety of Chainsaw Man, and while there has been great and fantastic moments that happened after this moment is where Chainsaw Man for me solidified itself as one of the greatest stories I've ever read, and that wouldn't have been a possibility if it wasn't for a character like Aki Hayakawa, Chainsaw Man's tragic hero. And with that, we have reached the end for this video. If you reached this point, I genuinely couldn't be more thankful. Also want to give out a shout out to Diego for doing a fantastic job with editing these recent videos. Go and check out his channel and give him some support. The final question that I want to leave off on is, what made you love Aki Hayakawa's character? And if you don't, leave a comment explaining why. I'm very interested in you guys' thoughts on that. Here are 2 videos that I recommend you watch immediately. And with that, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are. See you guys next time.